in all my classes, I try to explain that to say that this is just English or this is just physics or this is just bio is a false notion.
Yeah.
Because we all have the basic same questions we're dealing with. It's just a lens through which we are refracting the same questions. Who are we? Where are we? What is the relationship between me as a text and my context?
Mm-hmm.
How big is this context? How small is this context?
Yeah.
How many texts are there? Are we in correlation? Are we circling around one another like in an orbit? And I families that way, right? There are micro families, and then you connect all these families and you have a constellation. And I realized, wow, there's so many centers. Centers are connected. I mean, and then you really are looking at systems theory. But then you realize, as you said, music works that way. Chemistry works that way. Physics works that way. I mean, it's the same questions, different lenses. That's it. They all have to do with this experience we're born into, not of our choosing, you know? Maybe of our choosing, who knows? But like, it's to make sense of the experience we're born into.
Now I'm stepping back to the boundaries.
Yeah.
I mean, and those are very personal.
Yeah.
And so now I'm thinking, like, we all have certain gifts in my mind, that, everyone has some strength that they're very personal. So boundary, it's very personal, but it's also part of based on now your physical abilities to observe.
Yes.
I mean, so some people are more gifted with sound. Some people are more gifted with taste, and some with vision, and I'm very curious, does that allow you, if you're, I don't want to say you're really predisposed, but if you have those natural abilities, does that help you break those boundaries easier, or are they thinner boundaries because of those skill sets you have? The physical skill sets.
Interesting. So let's say I was visually impaired.
Right.
I'm thinking of like 5 senses and one sense is missing. And of course, we always know if one sense is depleted, the rest of your senses are heightened to compensate for that. So you're going to see the world in a more sonic way, in a more tactile way, maybe not in a way. But what's interesting, as you were asking me, like, does that mean some are, in a way, I think, if I'm not mistaken, your essential question is, are some more gifted than others at seeing a connected world or the connections? Is that what you're asking?
Ooh, I want to take out the seeing and maybe perceiving.
Perceiving.
Because again, I think some people have, I say, perfect pitch.
Oh gosh, I lost you.
Oh, yeah. Some people have perfect pitch.
I just lost you, John.
Still.
Yes. I often, while they have perfect pitches, I wonder what else is missing. There's always.
Oh, exactly.
Yep.
There is no perfect.
It's the beautiful calculus between lack and abundance that will create that person's experience. But hold on, tell me the question you have.
Oh, I mean, because one of my challenges is I don't parse words out very easily.
Mm-hmm.
So learning a foreign language is very difficult. Learning English, supposedly, I didn't speak until I was 2. I basically did sign language with my mom. But when I started to speak in sentences. I just had to kind of understand it. And when I took foreign language, it was the hardest course I had to ever, try to tackle. But I gained a lot from it. But also, it's just so funny. If I'm deep in thought in class trying to explain something, and a student will ask me a question while I'm in deep thought, I actually physically shake my head and have to step back, and all my attention has to go back to listening to their question again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yet I love music. I have a very good sense of pitch in that, but actually hearing the individual instruments is hard for me.
Mm.
Yeah, so I think about that a lot because, again, we all have certain gifts, and I definitely celebrate what I do have, but I've gained from my challenges too.
Oh, yeah. Because you're learning, I think, in unconsciously, your all other senses who are at your disposal and are trying to root for you to understand, are truly colluding forces, combining forces to make you learn. So I think it causes a very deep cultivation of the other senses. But I think that's also where we as teachers, like, isn't it incredible that I'm sure if we were here with other faculty, we would all kind of be in agreement that we very quickly figure out what a particular student's strengths are, more than the weaknesses, like what their strengths are. And I often try to tailor instruction, not according to their weakness, but according to their strength. Because everybody has a very deep strength. And because it's a place of joy. Everyone's strength is a place of joy.
Yep. That's true.
So if you're speaking to their place of joy, I think you immediately loosen up and relax into learning.
Right.
And so I think part of our job is to intuit the strength, but I don't deem weaknesses ever as weaknesses. So I will tell you my greatest weakness is I was never a born athlete. You don't understand my hand-eye coordination. Like, I also love losing games because I want to be out of them so fast.
Really?
Like, you have no idea. I hate competition.
Huh.
I can't stand like games because it just like and it's partly because I'm not good at them.
Yeah.
Because I'm like genuinely not, like, I can't engage. It's very hard for me to engage my body. I'm not a good dancer. Not like anything performance based.
Yeah.
Theater. I love teaching the text of Shakespeare.
I would have thought you'd been great on stage, acting.
You know what's weird is every acting little thing that I've done, it's been really great. I think it's genetic because my mom's an actress, but I don't like it. It really puts me in a place of discomfort. I don't like being spatial at all. And what I love is I love being still in one space for hours and thinking abstract thoughts. I'm really good at it. I'm really good at conceptual stuff. I'm not good at anything practical. So there you go. That you have how I have ended up as an English teacher, the story, right? Like
Oh, but I think English is incredibly practical, and especially the various ways you engage with it.
Yeah.
And also relating it back to ultimately to try.
It's ultimately to try, but also it's like the invisible tether of communication, right?
Right.